Pushback from Tamil Nadu against the three-language formula of the centre, with controlled aggression making it yet another DMK versus BJP and Chennai versus Delhi issue. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin sought to stir the pot by claiming that Hindi had destroyed 25 North Indian languages in the last century. And his deputy son, Udayinidhi, followed a predictable script, ready to turn it into a language war.
இந்தியை ஏத்துக்கிட்ட பல மாநிலங்கள் இன்றைக்கு தங்களுடைய தாய்மொழியை இழந்து நிற்கிறதை நாம பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். உதாரணத்திற்கு பீகார் மாநிலத்திற்கு பிகாரி, ஹரியானாவுடைய தாய்மொழி ஹரியான்வி, உத்தரப்பிரதேசத்துடைய தாய்மொழி போஜ்புரி. இந்த மொழிகள் எல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு கிட்டத்தட்ட அழிஞ்சு போயிருக்கு. இதற்கு காரணம் அங்கெல்லாம் ஹிந்தி நுழைந்ததுதான்.
Parallel developments happened in other states on the language front. Belagavi became a hotspot yet again between Karnataka and Maharashtra. Uttar Pradesh Assembly saw a sparring between Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and the Samajwadi Party over availability of Urdu or absence of it in translations of House proceedings. Punjab government objected to the CBSE toying with the idea of removing Punjabi as an option for Class 10 exams. This is not the first time that we in India are going to face a war over languages, if at all it happens. Just that, like earlier, this time too, the epicenter of the convergence happens to be in Tamil Nadu. It goes back decades to even before independence. Mahatma Gandhi saw in Hindi, albeit not the Sanskritized version that the government of India pushes, the lingua franca that could unite the masses during the freedom struggle. He was not a native Hindi speaker. He was a Gujarati. But he understood the practicality of sheer numbers speaking Hindi or Hindustani in pushing for it. Cut to 1938, when the presidency government of C. Rajagopalachari, inspired by the Mahatma, made Hindi learning compulsory in schools across Madras. Spontaneous protests broke out by Tamils, fanned by E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar Perayar. The movement consolidated over decades, and by the time of the Official Languages Act in 1960s, turned into a full-blown resistance with use of violence on some occasions. While there were Tamils from Rajaji to Ambujam Ammal batting for Hindi inspired by the Mahatma, the Tamil resistance was real. The DMK cut its teeth into politics on the back of these anti-Hindi protests, with its cadres even going to the extent of burning copies of the Constitution of India to register protest. The Modi government has clarified, and the new education policy, of which the three-language formula is part of, is unambiguously clear that students have to learn three languages, which should mandatorily include the mother tongue and one more of the official Indian languages, only preferably Hindi, but it is not imposed. Students in Kerala, for example, are absolutely free to pick up Tamil or Telugu as their second language apart from Malayalam, which is their mother tongue, plus English or French or Swahili if they are so interested.
NEP is recommending imposition of Hindi in Tamil Nadu. This misinformation, this falsehood should not be spread from the responsible persons. Other way, Prime Minister Modi's government is committed, as we promised, towards the glorification of language and heritage of Tamil Nadu. Kashi Tamil Sangamam and Saurashtra Tamil Sangamam is one of these are the two important instruments of recent times to create a global recognition how it is linked, Tamil culture, Tamil language, how it is linked to the pan-Indian prospect.
Apart from that, Prime Minister Modi has spoken with pride of Tamil's ancient legacy, of it being the most ancient language of the world at least half a dozen times, including at the United Nations. I would leave aside for a while the RSS-inspired Kashi Tamil Sangamam project in its fourth year now.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, आज से 3000 वर्ष पूर्व भारत के महान कवि कणियन पुंगुन ड्रनार, उन्होंने विश्व की प्राचीनतम भाषा तमिल में कहा था, यादम उरे यावरुम केडीर, यानी हम सभी स्थानों के लिए अपनेपन का भाव रखते हैं और सभी लोग हमारे अपने हैं.
But this is not just about the language war. There is a larger plan to what the Stalins have been doing past month. Even before the language war row subsided, we heard them pick up the issue of delimitation, another hot-button political subject south of the Vindhyas. Stalin has called for an all-party meet on March 5 in Chennai, claiming that with the new delimitation commission set to take up the reorganization of Lok Sabha seats, Tamil Nadu alone could lose as many as 8, thus adversely affecting the state's political clout at the center. He raised the delimitation issue in October last year also, asking Tamils to raise 16 children if need be to counter the possible adverse fallout of delimitation. He was chiming in with Andhra Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, who is an NDA ally. The argument is that with the southern states having done better on human development indices like education and birth control, the population density and absolute numbers have come down. Since the Lok Sabha seats get demarcated population-wise, the laggard northern states with higher populations, higher birth rates, get rewarded politically for their failures. The argument is not without some merit. And that's why the Union Home Minister Amit Shah sought to allay those fears on a visit to the state this week. But then those or any assurances do not count, for the agenda is much larger. Just look at two developments involving Stalin last month. On January 23, in a grandstanding post, Stalin announced to the world that Iron Age began in Tamil Nadu. What was written in our ancient literature is now becoming scientifically proven history, thanks to the meticulous efforts of our Dravidian model government. The history of the Indian subcontinent can no longer overlook Tamil Nadu. In fact, it must begin here, he said.
சர் ஜான் மார்ஷல் அதை அறிவிச்சார். இது இந்திய துணைக்கண்ட வரலாற்றுல ஒரு திருப்பு முனையை உண்டாக்கி நம்ம கடந்த காலத்தை பத்தின புரிதலை மாத்தி அமைச்சது. ஆரியமும் சமஸ்கிருதமும் தான் இந்தியாவின் மூலம்னு கற்பனைய வரலாறா அதுக்கு முடனும் பலரும் சொல்லிக்கிட்டு வந்தாங்க. அதை மாத்தினது ஜான் மார்ஷல் அவருடைய ஆய்வுகள் தான். சிந்துவெளி நாகரிகம் ஆரியத்திற்கு முற்பட்டது, அங்கே பேசப்பட்டது திராவிட மொழியா இருக்கலாம்னு அவர் நூற்றாண்டுகளுக்கு முன்ன சொன்ன குரல் இன்னைக்கு வலுப்பெற்றிருக்கு.
Before I read the subtext for you, let me recall another big announcement made by Stalin's government. On January 5, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister announced a $1 million or rupees 8 crores prize for anyone deciphering the Indus script. Yes, the script of the Indus Valley civilization that flourished up north in the Indus Plains. The monosyllabic pictorial script has been a riddle wrapped in an enigma for over a century since its discovery. But scientists have found some similarities between the characters of the Indus script with some Tamil symbols. For example, the predominant use of the bull in the Indus tablets is rampant across Tamil culture. The Aryan civilization, on the other hand, has horse as its predominant cultural theme. The entire edifice of Dravidian politics is built on this Dravid versus Aryan divide, with the latter seen as invaders, contrary to the Hindutva or RSS narrative that Aryans were the true inhabitants of this land of Bharat. That's why Aryavrat. Now you get it. If Stalin gets to prove for $1 million the Tamil or Dravid connections to the Indus civilization, and hence, as a corollary, that it's the Dravids who are natives of this land, and that the Aryans were invaders from some foreign land up north, who came riding on a horse and pushed the Dravids south of the Vindhyas, he gets to rewrite history. Studies show that symbols of bulls, considered a representation of Dravidian culture, are prevalent in Indus Valley artifacts, while horse depictions are conspicuously absent. Furthermore, symbols and inscriptions found at sites in Tamil Nadu, such as Sevakai, Adichanallur, Mailadumapparai, and others bear a 60% resemblance to those of the Indus Valley, with pottery inscriptions showing a 90% similarity, Stalin explained while announcing the award. Just a day later, on January 6, Stalin government had a repeat run-in with the governor, R.N. Ravi, on the issue of playing national anthem at the start of the assembly session. This was the third year in a row that Governor Ravi walked out of the assembly without completing the customary address to the House on grounds that the state anthem, Tamilathai Vazathu, was played before national anthem. While this might have been a tradition in Tamil Nadu Assembly that the national anthem is played at the end of the program and the state anthem at the start, by digging in his heels, Stalin is making a larger point. Howsoever softly, but very clearly, an attempt is being made to push contours of Tamil nationalism. In 2022, the Tamil Nadu Assembly passed a resolution seeking centers not to supply humanitarian aid to Sri Lanka, mainly to Tamils in the northern parts of the southern neighbor. When the challenge to the Citizenship Amendment Act reached the Supreme Court, the DMK made exclusion of Sri Lankan Tamils from the ambit of Indian citizenship as one of the many grounds of its opposition to the law. Make no mistake, there is no suggestion of separatism, only a soft sub-nationalism that buttresses DMK's Dravid politics. Also remember, Tamil Nadu is headed for assembly elections next year. In the 2026 elections, Stalin sees his opportunity to further consolidate the DMK rule as he possibly passes on the baton to his son, Udayanithi. The BJP has been on a bit of a back foot, except for one salvo that in 2015 Stalin wanted Urdu to be made compulsory by law for the benefit of Muslims in the state, thus exposing his hypocrisy and appeasement politics. The larger BJP ecosystem has struggled to frame an aggressive response. Quittings like that of actor Ranjana Nachiyar have put some constraints on its political push, and some within the party believe it might lose some of the electoral gains it made during last year's general elections. Interesting times ahead in Tamil Nadu. Coming back to the language issue before I close, even today, if you look at the numbers of those who speak Hindi and those who speak other languages, Hindi connects more people and regions in the country. The debate needs to be nuanced. It's not language supremacy issue on whether Hindi is better language than Tamil for poetry or science or commerce, or vice versa. It's just about convenience of the masses to communicate through the language divide. Remember, the three-language formula owes its origins to early days of independence, when the sentiment that saw English as a language of slavery was still strong. Also, remember the European experiment. Language constitutes nationality there, despite the bond of Christianity. Let's not stoke those fires. Moving on for now. It does not happen often that an English teacher with no background in science or technology becomes a techpreneur and one of the richest private sector tycoons in a communist state. Jack Ma did all this and more. He has just survived a purge and come back to tell his tale. The billionaire founder of umbrella tech and commerce group Alibaba was banished in 2020 after he crossed a red line and criticized some of the Xi Jinping government's financial sector policies. The outreach was not appreciated, to put it politely. Within days, Ma disappeared from public view, even fueling speculation that he was perhaps thrown in some deep dungeon, never to return. The list of those who have crossed Xi or made mistakes in his eyes and lost their careers is long. Just one example of the scale of Xi's purges. Of the 205 Central Committee members of the Chinese Communist Party, all handpicked by Xi himself in 2022, 19 were either purged, thrown in jail, or excommunicated from public life. One even committed suicide. That's roughly 10% of those who were selected. We of course know the most famous examples. Foreign Minister Qin Gang, picked in March 2023, projected as a rising star and gone by July in 4 months? Or Defense Minister Li Shangfu, picked along with gang and banished by October on corruption charges? The list is long and cuts across public and private sectors alike. But coming back to Jack Ma, when Ma burst on the scene sometime in mid-2000s, he was seen as the embodiment of the unbridled ambition and uncogged energy of the Chinese private sector. Beginning with a website design company out of his drawing room, Ma built an online commerce company with multinational footprint in little over a decade. The young called him Daddy Ma. His rags to riches story, from being an English teacher to the big tech tycoon, became the inspiration for millions, not just in China, but around the world. In 2020, just ahead of that comment, which led to his downfall, Ma's net worth had peaked at over $61 billion. And then came that overreach in Shanghai's speech where he called Chinese internet ecosystem a pawn shop and the Chinese financial sector throttled by Beijing's policies.
管是有问题的时候，或预判有问题的才去管，但是我们现在管的能力越来越强，监的能力明显不足。好的创新不怕监管，但是怕左。
The reaction was swift. $35 billion worth IPO of his financial sector company, the Ant Group, stood immediately cancelled. In a reminder of the Mao-era Cultural Revolution purge, Ma was gone from public view in a week. Xi showed it as part of his larger campaign against corruption, with many other business tycoons banishing. The Xi propaganda machine showed it as a reform that was needed to curb corruption, realign the private sector with socialist priorities of the communist state, much like fasting rejuvenates the body. The purge was meant to cleanse the economy of corruption cholesterol and lead to a second push to China's race to become the largest economy of the world, replacing the United States. What looked like stupidity, hubris, Jinping's megalomania, now seems to have had a plan. By bursting the real estate bubble, Jinping shifted China's resource allocation from what essentially is an unproductive, dead asset class to qualitative tech and innovation-driven future, which includes artificial intelligence and renewable energy. The thesis was that recession was necessary to renewal, a sort of autophagy for the economy, an act of creative destruction. All this sounded good in Communist Party's straight-jacketed, genuflecting structures before the emperor that she has become. But the markets responded differently. Global corporate world saw destabilizing consequences of their actions. The Jinping purge created a long-term structural impact on Chinese economy, slowing it down for some years now. The real economic activity in China is stalled. China has sputtered and struggled on most parameters, and growth has plateaued since. There have been a couple of stimulus packages with little or limited impact, and one more is being talked about. While there have been no political costs given the dictatorship that China is, Xi even managing to further tighten his grip in the same period, China's challenge to the US economic hegemony now looks distant. At the event where Jack Ma appeared, the showstopper was not him. It was DeepSeek founder Liang Wenfeng. He is the toast in the present, giving China what's being billed as the Sputnik moment of AI for America. Other private sector czars, including from companies like the automaker BYD, were also present. But beyond the optics, what she said at the event was more important. Private sector needs to show more innovation, display its full talents and potential. If you read between the lines, it is back to full circle from 2020 when the pleasure of Xi stood withdrawn exactly for the same reasons, that the private sector was displaying true potential and consequent freedom and had to be restrained. Now the communist state would back it. So what changed? Why this accent on innovation and tech and private sector? China's struggles are manifold. Much of its success in the last 3 decades has been based on being a low-end manufacturing shop floor for the world. Innovation and tech remain the preserve of the West. Post-COVID, hardening of anti-China sentiment and the shift of supply chains have provided a challenge to that manufacturing sector. The shifting sands of trade have made the ground beneath Xi shake enough for him to recalibrate. The rehabilitation of private sector with Ma as its face should signify that shift. If the realignment of the economy for the next round of growth has to happen, then it cannot be without the private sector. When Xi began his crackdown 5 years ago, he might not have thought of the COVID caper and the Trump turn of events. The United States under Trump does not believe in niceties. There are already sanctions put in place in the first month of Trump presidency that are biting the Chinese semiconductor ecosystem. There are more coming. Ultimately, it is not about Jack Ma. His appearance at the symposium in Beijing after 5 years is a message of Xi's course correction. The Chinese president is beefing up his defenses against Trump's mercurial policy shifts. Nothing more. Thanks for watching.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Hi, this is Arnab Goswami here, and I'll be attending the Republic Plenary Summit 2025 on March 6th at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. This happens to be India's largest news event, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Save this date. I will see you on March 6th.
Hi guys, this is Sania Mirza and I will be attending the Republic Plenary Summit 2025 on March 6th at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. This is India's largest summit organized by Republic Media, India's leading news network. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. See you all there.
Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi has said that his government is focusing on the development of the backward areas of the state. He said the government has taken projects on water resources, drinking waters, roads and rural development. The Chief Minister laid the foundation stone for various development projects in Mayurbhanj. With rising criticism over opposition leaders not visiting just concluded Mahakumbh, Congress MP Tariq Anwar said that one cannot be compelled to visit Mahakumbh. He said it is a matter of faith and belief. He alleged that the BJP always tries to mix politics with religion. Over 60 crore people visited the month-long Grand Hindu festival, which concluded on Mahashivratri on the 26th of February.
देखिए, राम मंदिर हो, अयोध्या हो, कुंभ मेला हो, ये सब आदमी के विश्वास का मामला है, आस्था का मामला है। तो जिसको जहाँ आस्था होगा, जिसको जहाँ विश्वास होगा, वो वहाँ जाएगा। आप यू कैन नॉट कंपेल। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी मज़हब को और राजनीति को हमेशा कोशिश करती है उसको मिक्सअप करने का।
As part of drive against drug peddlers, the Punjab police demolished properties of 2 drug suppliers in Hanpur village of Phillour Tehsil of Jalandhar district today. Punjab police has launched a statewide operation against drug peddlers. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar will be the face of NDA in the Bihar Assembly election scheduled to take place this year. National Working President of JDU and MP Sanjay Kumar Jha said that the coming Assembly election will be fought under the Nitish Kumar banner on the basis of NDA government's performance. He said Bihar is getting the benefit of a double-engine government with Nitish Kumar as Chief Minister and Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister at the centre.
बिल्कुल नीतीश जी के चेहरे पे ही हम लोग 2025 का विधानसभा चुनाव एनडीए लड़ेगी। जहाँ तक विपक्ष की बात है तो स्वाभाविक है, विपक्ष अपना राजनीति करता है, अपना लोगों के बीच में जाके बात रखने का सबको हक है, और हम लोग नीतीश कुमार जी और एनडीए सरकार के कामकाज पर लोगों के बीच में जाएंगे।
DMK has reiterated that proposed delimitation will be detrimental to South Indian states. DMK spokesperson Saravanan Anandurai has alleged that delimitation on the basis of population will do grave injustice to the South Indian states, since South Indian states have successfully implemented population control policy when North Indian states never did it. He said that this puts the North Indian states in advantageous position in delimitation mission than the South Indian states. DMK has opposed the delimitation plan, saying this will reduce Tamil Nadu's seats in the parliament.
Hello everyone, this is Ranveer Brar and I'm honored to be speaking at the Republic Plenary Summit 2025, India's most powerful gathering of leaders, visionaries and changemakers. Under the theme of Limitless India, we celebrate the spirit of innovation that has shaped our country and its future. It is going to be a power-packed summit, and you can join me as we discuss the next chapter of India's transformation. See you at the Republic Plenary Summit 2025 on the 6th of March, only on Republic Media Network.
Arnab, your Republic TV must be one of the most successful media startups in the world.
पब्लिक टीवी ने जो किया है आज तक भारत के आजाद भारत के इतिहास में किसी इंग्लिश टीवी ने तो किया ही नहीं, और मैं इस बात के लिए इनकी हिम्मत को दाद देता हूं।
थोड़े समय में ही इस रिपब्लिक मीडिया समूह ने जन सामान्य का विश्वास हासिल करने में जो कामयाबी हासिल की है, उसकी जितनी भी सराहना की जाए वह कम है।
It's my joy, Arnab, you are bringing the much needed inspiration and information to people. And in such short time, Republic TV has done wonderfully well.
रिपब्लिक टीवी की टीम जानती है कि हर उपलब्धि के पीछे मेहनत, विजन और संकल्पों की एक लंबी यात्रा होती है।
watching Live and Breaking. I am Tanisha Avasti. Our top focus remains on the 22-year-old Congress worker who was murdered in a very grisly manner. Her body was found inside a suitcase. We'll get you all that and much more on this edition. But first, a quick check of the headlines.
सरकार से यही गुहार है कि मेरी बेटी को न्याय मिले और मतलब जल्दी से जल्दी मेरी बेटी को न्याय मिले.
Congresswoman worker's body found stuffed inside suitcase in Rohtak. Party demands impartial investigation.
हर व्यक्ति का अधिकार है मनमर्जी से धर्म अपनाए, पर लालच देकर, भोग देकर कन्वर्शन होता है. हमारे लिए चिंतन मंथन का विषय है.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar makes a strong statement against conversion in Kerala, says shouldn't use pain of other people as reason to convert them into another religion. Woman accuses Pastor Bajinder Singh of sexual assault. Christian evangelist was previously arrested for rape and murder. Tension grips Jawatpur University after Education Minister Bratya Basu injured in student protest. Prime Minister Narendra Modi offers prayers at Gujarat Somnath Jyotirling Temple. Prime Minister is on a 3-day visit to Gujarat. And we shift our focus to breaking news coming in, and this is in regard with the pastor case who has been accused of sexual assault. A huge update coming in where the pastor has given a first statement. Punjab pastor Bajinder Singh's first reaction after the FIR has been registered against him, where he has dismissed the charges against him, saying that it was a cooked story. In fact, he's also said that the victim who held a full-fledged press conference was like a daughter to him. The chats that she was talking about, it was an edited message. That's what the pastor has been claiming. Now remember, there are protests that are being staged in support of the pastor. We're also being joined by Lalit in the case. Lalit, the pastor has refused and has refuted, in fact, to all the allegations, saying that the charges against him are false and the FIR has been registered. Please take us through the latest update in the case.
If we talk about the whole controversy which has erupted in Jalandhar regarding this sexual harassment case, now today in large number in support of the pastor, people gathered in Jalandhar, and the statement of Pastor Baljinder Singh has also have come out, and in which he has said that the whole story is cooked. False allegations have been leveled against him, and other than that, the messages which the victim is talking about, these all are the edited messages. The one who has leveled those allegations is like a daughter to her. So right. This is a statement which has been given up by Pastor Baljinder Singh. But yes, this whole controversy has been seen after the victim has leveled allegations against the pastor.
Right, Lalit. Thank you very much for sharing all those details. Meanwhile, moving on to the other stories that we're tracking now, in a grisly murder that came to light in Haryana after the body of a Congress worker was found stuffed in a suitcase. A police team moved to the spot after receiving information that a suitcase stuffed with a woman's body had been spotted near the bus stand in Rohtak as the Congress targeted the ruling BJP in Haryana over the state of law and order. The victim's mother alleged a foul play, claiming an insider hand in her daughter's murder.
A Congress worker in her early 20s was found dead under mysterious circumstances today. The body of the missing Congress worker was found stuffed inside a suitcase at Rohtak. The murdered Congress worker was identified as Himani Narwal. She was in her early 20s. Speaking on the recovery, the station house officer of Sampla said a police rushed a team to the spot after receiving word that a body had been found inside a suitcase near a bus stand in Rohtak.
ये भी सूचना मिली थी, ये सड़क के किनारे हाईवे के किनारे झाड़ियों में एक सूटकेस में डेड बॉडी मिली है।
अभी एफएसएल टीम को बुलाया है, मुकदमा दर्ज कर रहे हैं, जांच कर रहे हैं। हाँ, ऐसा लग रहा है देख रहे हैं ना कि इसका मर्डर करके इसकी डेड बॉडी को यहाँ पे फेंका गया है। बाकी जांच कर रहे हैं, मुकदमा दर्ज करके कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, the Congress came out all guns blazing at the BJP government over the prevailing law and order in Haryana, claiming that it tops the country in crime against women.
हरियाणा में कानून व्यवस्था बिल्कुल ठप हो चुकी है और जो क्राइम अगेंस्ट वुमेन जो है वो हरियाणा पूरे देश में नंबर 1 है। 2022 सीआरपी इसकी क्राइम रिकॉर्ड की बात है, सेंट्रल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड की बात है, सेंट्रल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड। और जो ये घटना है इसकी तुरंत जांच होनी चाहिए।
The top media advisor to Chief Minister Nayab Saini said the police has been directed to go to the bottom of the murder and uncover those responsible.
बहुत ही दुखद घटना है, एक जघन्य अपराध है। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने पुलिस अधिकारियों को बड़े सख्त दिशा निर्देश दिए हैं कि जो भी लोग इसमें संलिप्त हैं तुरंत उन लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया जाए, और चाहे वो किसी पार्टी से संबंधित है, चाहे वो किसी पार्टी के नेता हैं या सामान्य आदमी है, पुलिस अपनी कार्रवाई कर रही है। बहुत जल्द वो लोग सलाखों के पीछे होंगे, जैसा कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने निर्देश दिए हैं।
अगर किसी राजनीतिक चीज़ की अगर लगता है कोई शक है तो उसको सरकार को जो पार्टी है जो अपने शक जाहिर करती है उसको गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए और पुलिस को इसकी जांच करनी चाहिए।
The victim's mother, meanwhile, alleged foul play. She said her daughter may have made some enemies during the last Haryana Assembly elections.
10 साल से अपनी पढ़ाई को भी मतलब साइड में रख के घर की तरफ ना ध्यान देते, सिर्फ इलेक्शन के पीछे, और सिर्फ यही इलेक्शन और पार्टी मेरी बेटी की जान लेगी क्योंकि उसकी दुश्मनी उसी के कारण बनी है।
Her brother, meanwhile, said Himani was an active Congress worker and her death could be the fallout of a political rivalry.
कोई भी आशा के उड़ा के पास अपने फोन किया, मैंने फोन भी 4-5 मिस कॉल मारी, फिर भी फोन भी नहीं उठाया। मुझे तो ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि कोई पार्टी का ही मेंबर है, सच्ची बताऊं तो, कि किसी पार्टी के मेंबर ने किया हुआ है।
Meanwhile, a special investigation was formed to get to the bottom of this incident.
पुलिस को सूचना मिली थी, पुलिस मौके पे पहुंची थी, वहाँ एक सफारी का बैग था, उसके अंदर से डेड बॉडी वो मिली थी। तो बाद में हम लोगों ने जब आइडेंटिफिकेशन वगैरह करी है तो हिमानी नरवाल के नाम से वो लड़की का था, विजयनगर की वो रहने वाली थी। तो उनके माँ बाप भी हम लोगों ने मौके पे बुलाए थे, वो आइडेंटिफाई हो गई थी बढ़िया। और उसके बाद हम लोग अब अलग अलग पहलू पे इस पे हम लोग इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हैं और जो जल्द से जल्द इसका जो भी पीछे इसका होगा उसका पर्दाफाश हम लोग करेंगे। इसमें SIT का गठन कर दिया गया है, मेरे ही नेतृत्व में SHO सांपला है और चौकी इंचार्ज है हमारे इसमें।
As the probe gathers pace, the onus is on the Congress to clarify on the family's charges of rivalry and political murder.
An uneasy calm prevailed at Kolkata's Jadavpur University a day after State Education Minister was allegedly heckled and attacked by protesting students on campus. It was alleged that members of the left student wing SFI surrounded and attacked the minister's car, leaving him injured. Now, tension gripped the varsity after SFI members allegedly stopped the minister's car, demanding that the elections to Students' Council be held at the earliest.
আমাদের ছবি দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে এসএফআই ছাত্র পরিষদের সাথে কিন্তু
Tension was palpable at Kolkata's Jadavpur University a day after Bengal Education Minister Brata Boshu was allegedly attacked on campus. It was alleged that the left-backed student protesters surrounded and attacked the minister's car, leaving him injured. Dramatic visuals from the campus on Saturday showed the protesters raising slogans and purportedly heckling the minister while banging their fists on the bonnet and roof of his car. According to reports, the protesting members of the CPI Students' Wing, SFI, blocked the minister's car, demanding immediate elections to the Varsity's Students' Council. Visuals also showed the protesting students deflating the tires of the minister's vehicle to stop it from exiting the campus. The minister reportedly sustained injuries in the incident and had to be admitted to the state-run SSKM hospital. Ruling Trinamool Congress MP Shayani Ghosh led a march condemning the incident on Saturday.
आज जादवपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में एक शिक्षक का कॉन्क्लेव था और वहाँ पे हमारे जो राज्य के शिक्षा मंत्री हैं उनके साथ जादवपुर यूनिवर्सिटी एसएफआई के स्टूडेंट ने बहुत बुरा बर्ताव किया, गाली गलौज की, उनको प्रहार किया उन पे। हम लोग यहाँ पे वी आर हियर टू कंडेम दिस एंड वी वांट टू से दैट डेमोक्रेसी शुड प्रिवेल। और ये ममता बनर्जी उनका शासनकाल है, हम लोग बहुत सेंसिटिविटी और सेंसिबिलिटी के साथ हैंडल करते हैं, बट दे शुडंट टेक आवर सेंसिटिविटी और सेंसिबिलिटी टू बी आवर वीकनेस।
Meanwhile, on Sunday, 5 FIRs were registered in connection with the incident on campus. The Vice Chancellor of the university also condemned the incident while flagging glaring security lapses on campus. Amid an uneasy calm, an elaborate security deployment has been made at the varsity to prevent fresh tensions.
The Kapurthala police have booked 43-year-old pastor Bajinder Singh for sexually assaulting a woman allegedly. According to the police, claimed that she was a disciple of the pastor and that he had touched her inappropriately. Pastor Singh has a record of criminal cases filed against him previously. In 2018, he was arrested by the police for allegedly raping a Zikarpur-based woman. In September 2022, a Delhi family had alleged that Bajinder took money from them for treating their daughter who was suffering from cancer. The Income Tax Department too had conducted raids on his premises in April 2023. Here's all that you need to know about the pastor who has allegedly been under the scanner now.
Kapurthala police has registered a case against Pastor Bajinder Singh. The case is filed on the basis of complaint of his woman disciple. The woman has complained that the pastor sexually assaulted her.
सर नॉर्मल गल आ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੁਆਇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਟ ਬਜਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ।
The woman mentioned that she started going to the church in 2017 and got in touch with the pastor since 21. She said the pastor started messaging her and threatened her not to share anything or face dire consequences.
2021 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਲਤ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਪਾਸਟਰ ਮੀਨੂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਪਾਸਟਰ ਅਕਬਰ ਨੇ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਆਣੇ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਓ। ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਲਤ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਕਰਨੇ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ।
The woman alleged that the pastor started following her after college and even touched her inappropriately.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਧਮਕੀਆਂ ਦੇਣੀਆਂ। ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਚਰਚ 'ਚ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੈਡ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗਲਤ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ।
This is not the first time the accused pastor has come under police scanner. In 2018, he was arrested by the police for allegedly raping a Zirakpur-based woman. In September 2022, a family had alleged that Bajinder took money from them for treating their daughter, who was suffering from cancer. The Income Tax Department too had conducted raids on his premises in April 2023. A self-styled preacher, he claims to cure fatal diseases, paralysis and other ailments through prayers at his center in Tajpur village of Jalandhar.
Cross to visuals from World Live in Breaking, where we're getting in pictures of the European leaders who, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is attending a summit on defense, a continuation of the gathering in Paris in February. The attendees include French President Emmanuel Macron, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, German Chancellor and the EU Commissioner. So this is a meeting that is being held by the European Union. Live pictures of that on your screen. All right, so we're getting in visuals of the meeting of the European leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky who is attending a summit on defense, a continuation of the gathering in Paris in February. Now, attendees include French President, Italian Prime Minister, German Chancellor and EU Commissioner. Moving on to the other stories that we're tracking now, AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi has cast a fresh aspersion on the Uniform Civil Code, claiming that it weakens the country. Weighing in on the rollout of the UCC in BJP-ruled Uttarakhand, Owaisi alleged that tribals and undivided Hindu families were exempted from the law. He accused the Uttarakhand government of making laws that are in dispute with the laws.
AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi opened a fresh front against the centre over the Uniform Civil Code. Casting fresh aspersions on the UCC, Owaisi said it tends to weaken the country if enforced nationally. In a big charge against BJP-ruled Uttarakhand, which became the first state to implement the UCC, Owaisi said it doesn't apply to the local tribal communities and undivided Hindu families. The UCC proposes uniform laws for all citizens across faiths and communities. Owaisi claimed that the UCC also fundamentally violates Article 14 as enshrined in the Constitution. He said even the father of the Constitution, B.R. Ambedkar, called for a voluntary rollout of the UCC and not by the coercion. He also questioned if the Uttarakhand government could bring a law that stand against established centre legislations like the Special Marriage Act, which was passed by consensus in Parliament.
उत्तराखंड में यूसीसी का कानून लाए, क्या यूसीसी है ये? उसमें आपने एग्जाम कर दिया ट्राइबल्स को, एग्जाम कर दिया हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली को। अब उत्तराखंड में सब चेंज कर दिए, मगर ट्राइबल पर और हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली पे अप्लाई नहीं होगा। ये कैसे होगा? ये आर्टिकल 14 का ग्रेव वायलेशन। स्टेट एक रियासत शरीयत एप्लीकेशन एक्ट पार्लियामेंट का कानून है, हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट एक पार्लियामेंट का कानून है। क्या एक रियासत उत्तराखंड उसके खिलाफ कानून बना सकती? नहीं बना सकते आप।
Despite the dissent and protests from political opponents, the BJP-led centre continues to defend the UCC as a reformative legislation aimed at reducing gender disparity in the Muslim community and restoring the dignity of Muslim women.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 3-day visit to Gujarat. With today being the second day of his visit, Prime Minister Modi offered prayers at the Somnath Jyotirlinga temple and chaired a meeting with the Sri Somnath Trust. During his visit, Prime Minister Modi is also expected to visit the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's idol at the temple premises. Watch this report to know more.
Embarking on a 3-day tour to Gujarat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi offered prayers at Gujarat's Somnath Jyotirling temple on the second day of his visit. Being the chairperson of the Sri Somnath Trust, Prime Minister Modi also chaired a meeting with the temple trust. During his visit, Prime Minister Modi also paid obeisance to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's idol inside the Somnath Mandir's premises. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Modi visited Vantara, which is Anant Ambani's Animal Rescue, Conservation and Rehabilitation Centre located in Jamnagar. After his Somnath visit, Prime Minister Modi is expected to head to Sasan, where he will be staying overnight. Following his stay, Prime Minister Modi is set to take a jungle safari on Monday.
And let's have a quick check of the other stories that we're tracking in Bharat in 2 minutes. Odisha's Chief Minister Mohan Charan Manjhi has said that his government is focusing on the development of backward areas of the state. He said that the government has taken projects on water resources, drinking water, roads and rural development. The Chief Minister laid the foundation stone for various development projects in Mayurbhanj.
With the rising criticism over opposition leaders not visiting just concluded Mahakumbh, the Congress MP Tariq Anwar said that cannot be a compulsion to visit Mahakumbh. He said that it is a matter of faith and belief. He alleged that BJP always tries to mix politics with religion. More than 60 crore people visited the month-long Grand Hindu Festival, which concluded on Mahashivratri on 26th of February.
देखिए, राम मंदिर हो, अयोध्या हो, कुंभ मेला हो, ये सब आदमी के विश्वास का मामला है, आस्था का मामला है। तो जिसको जहाँ आस्था होगा, जिसको जहाँ विश्वास होगा, वो वहाँ जाएगा। आप यू कैन नॉट कंपेल। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी मज़हब को और राजनीति को हमेशा कोशिश करती है उसको मिक्सअप करने का।
As a part of drive against drug peddlers, the Punjab police demolished properties of true drug suppliers in Hanpur village of Tehsil of Jalandhar district today. Punjab police has launched a statewide operation against the drug peddlers. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar will be the face of NDA in Bihar Assembly elections scheduled to take place next year. National Working President of JDU and MP Sanjay Kumar Jha said that the coming assembly election will be fought under the Chief Minister of Nitish Kumar's guidance on a basis of NDA government's performance. He said that Bihar is getting benefit of double-engine government with the Nitish Kumar as Chief Minister and Narendra Modi as Prime Minister at the centre.
बिल्कुल नीतीश जी के चेहरे पे ही हम लोग 2025 का विधानसभा चुनाव एनडीए लड़ेगी। जहाँ तक विपक्ष की बात है तो स्वाभाविक है, विपक्ष अपना राजनीति करता है, अपना लोगों के बीच में जाके बात रखने का सबको हक है। और हम लोग नीतीश कुमार जी और एनडीए सरकार के कामकाज पर लोगों के बीच में जाएंगे।
DMK has reiterated that proposed delimitation will be detrimental to South Indian states. DMK spokesperson Sarvanand Annadurai has alleged that delimitation on the basis of population will do grave injustice to the South Indian states, since South Indian states have successfully implemented population control policy, whereas in North Indian states never did it. He said that this puts the North Indian states in advantageous position in delimitation mission than the South Indian states. DMK has also opposed the delimitation plan, saying that this will reduce Tamil Nadu's seats in the parliament.
If the delimitation is going to be happening on the basis of the population, usually which it happens that way, then that will be very detrimental to the South Indian states. The South Indian states have scrupulously followed the population control measures and the population have kind of stabilized, whereas the North Indian states have not done so.
In a groundbreaking achievement, Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost lunar lander has successfully touched down on the moon, marking the first private moon landing under NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. Landing after nearly 5 weeks after the launch, the probe is set to enhance humanity's understanding of the lunar ecosystem. Watch this report to know more.
In a rare feat, Firefly Aerospace lunar lander Blue Ghost has touched down the moon's Mare region. The mission, nicknamed Ghost Riders in the Sky, is the first successful private lunar mission under NASA's collaboration with private players. Launched in mid-January from Florida, the hippopotamus-sized probe carries the module for 10 different experiments to the moon for NASA as a part of the Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. With only Russia, US, China, India and Japan having achieved success in landing on the moon's surface without faltering, Blue Ghost landing adds Firefly Aerospace to this coveted league. Firefly Aerospace achievement comes in the midst of a trend of launching cost-effective and innovative solutions to the moon in a bid to enhance sustainable human presence on the lunar surface.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Hi guys, this is Sania Mirza and I will be attending the Republic Plenary Summit 2025 on March 6th at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. This is India's largest summit organized by Republic Media, India's leading news network. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. See you all there.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Namaskar, I'm Ricky Cage and I'm super excited that on the 6th of March, I'm going to be at the Republic Plenary Summit. It's going to be absolutely awesome and it's happening at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. So remember, let us see each other at the Republic Plenary Summit March 6th at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. See you there.
Warm welcome and a round of applause to Ms. Trinetra Haldar and Executive Editor, Republic TV, Niranjan Narayan Swami will be accompanying her to the stage for a fireside chat.
Thank you, Trinetra, for being with us today. And a trans woman first became a doctor and then an actor. Any overlap between those two worlds?
Any overlap? I would say lots of overlap. If you really look at how a set works and how a hospital works, many similarities. But I think as far as the timeline is concerned, I was an intern. I was doing my MBBS and